Good morning, guitar players. So happy to see you. This is my weekly Thursday morning at 9:45 Central Daylight Time. That's Nashville time. Facebook Live mini guitar lesson. Welcome. So glad you're with me here. I missed last week, and I'm so sorry about that. I missed doing this. I missed talking to y'all. But we had a big fat power outage here in Nashville, and in our house we were without power for almost 5 days. So that felt like about a month, and I just couldn't do my Facebook Live thing. So I'm sorry we missed last week, but we're back on track, and I'll be doing this every Thursday morning, 9:45 CDT. And we're just going to do a quickie little, unscary little bite-sized chunk of guitar playing. And the last couple of Facebook Live things that we have done have been on walkdowns in the key of G. And if you missed them, you can scroll down. You can still view them on my Facebook page here, so you can get up to speed that way. Today, we're going to do something a little more sophisticated than the walkdowns we've done the last couple times. Those were really basic, following a G scale, and it's super easy to finger and all of that. That was super useful. You will use them all the time when you're in the key of G, and actually even sometimes outside of the key of G. We'll talk about that another time. Today, though, I want to do something a little more sophisticated, which is to do a chromatic walkdown from an E minor chord. So, first of all, let's talk about what the hell that means. Chromatic means moving by half steps. And that's significant because when we move in the scale, like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, most of those notes are actually a whole step apart, with a couple of exceptions, but mostly it's whole steps, according to a very certain pattern. That's what your ear wants to hear. A chromatic walkdown means we are just going to move by half steps. So that means we're going to be landing on some notes that aren't really in a scale, in the scale, in the major scale, the do, re, mi scale. So it's going to actually have a sort of interesting, darker, even dissonant quality. So if you're writing a song that's like, yay, we got our power back, the sun is shining, and everything's back on track, if that's your song, you're not going to use this chromatic walkdown. This is a little, like I said, darker sounding. So just keep that in mind. You'll hear what I'm talking about in a second. So we're going to work out of this E minor fingering. And it's important to get set up the right way so that everything we do from here on out is easier. So my middle finger's on the 5th string and my ring finger's on the 4th string. All right? So maybe you know that the bass note for an E minor chord is E, and we usually play it right there. And that's great, but there is another E note that we can use for our bass note, and that's the one we're going to use as a starting point for our walkdown. So here on the 4th string, that's also an E note, and really the party is going to be on the 4th string. So let's start there, and then we're going to leave the middle finger right where he is, because he's kind of our anchor for right now. So leave him right where he is, but after you play this note, it's an E note on the D string, on the 4th string. You're going to pick up your ring finger and put your index finger on the 1st fret of the 4th string. So we went from here to here, and that's a half step. And you might go, Ellen, that's wrong. It's a mistake. It sounds terrible. No, it sounds dissonant. I told you we're going to be, creating a little bit of a darker sound here with this. So it's okay. Yeah, there's some dissonance in there. It's about to resolve. It's going to be okay. Lift up your index finger and play that 4th string open. See how we feel better? Because that's a scale tone, by the way. And it's just a friendlier sounding sound. So you could stop right there if you wanted to and do you have some interesting options right here. You can go. up. So I went E, D sharp, D, D sharp, E. I don't know if the girl gets the boy in that song because it feels a little foreboding. So if that's the sound you're trying to create, this is perfect. Now, a more typical thing to do is to keep going down to a fourth note, but it's not on that string. So I'll show you how to get it. We go, and you know what? I want to go down another half step, but I'm out of notes on that string, so I have to pick everything up and go here. Now I'm reaching with my ring finger because I have to go up the neck a little bit, and it moves my hand less if I use my ring finger instead of like pulling my whole hand up the neck with my index. So I reach with my ring finger, 5th string, 4th fret. Now if you're going to strum this and you want to, cover all your bases, your index finger needs to be on that 4th string on the E note. So it goes like this. This may remind you of a certain Led Zeppelin song, although it's in another key, so it's a different chord. But I'm going to play just 2 seconds of an old standard. My Funny Valentine. Da, 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 da. And then I'm going to go to A minor. Da, 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 da. Okay, that was pretty cool. If you want to learn that song, you're going to need some chords, I'm just telling you right now. But there's another use that you might recognize, and I think it's actually in this key, in the key of G. This is your 6 minor, which is an old student of mine named Tim Nichols and Craig Wiseman wrote a huge song, won a Grammy, sold a bunch of records, called Live Like You Were Dying. And this happens in the verse, and then they go to a C chord. So just FYI, you can do that, although at that point it stops being chromatic. So just that's a little food for thought right there. So anyway, that's a little tidbit for today. In the description of today's Facebook Live, there's some links you might find useful. Come visit me on my website, and there's lots more stuff on the website. On my blog, all kinds of interesting stuff. And on my YouTube channel, I have some interviews. I have a million other little mini guitar lessons for you. If you're in the mood for private lessons, holler, because I'm doing lots of online teaching these days, lots and lots. And I have a Zoom class coming up next Wednesday, May 20th in the evening, just an hour of what we're calling musical comfort food, because I need some of that, and I have a feeling maybe you do too. So we're going to play a bunch of super easy songs, just have fun, lots of fun, no stress. And the Eventbrite link to get more info is also in the description. So I'll see you next Thursday, 9:45 CDT. And if you have any requests of what you'd like me to cover in future mini lessons, please tell me. I would love to know what you're interested in, because I'm interested in that too. So, all right, y'all, rock on. I'll see you next time.